Jota Quest is a Brazilian pop-rock band. The band was founded in 1995 in Belo Horizonte, Minas Gerais as J.Quest, but due to trademark issues with Hanna-Barbera, they renamed themselves Jota Quest. The band members include Rogério Flausino, Marco Túlio, Márcio Buzelin, PJ, Paulo Roberto Diniz, Jr. and Paulinho Fonseca. Jota Quest initially stood apart from Minas Gerais' musical tradition by garnering national success with pop rock and blue-eyed soul-tinged pop. Eventually the band exposed its Clube da Esquina influences, including collaborations with Minas Gerais exponents Paulinho Pedro Azul and Milton Nascimento in Oxigênio, as well as jams with 14 bis and a collaboration with Roberto Carlos over his hit single Além da Horizonte. Jota Quest sold over 4 million copies in Brazil, Latin America and Portugal. Biography. The group played the first show as J.Quest inspired by the cartoon J.Quest, the idea of bassist PJ. At the time, the group played the bar circuit and schools of Belo Horizonte and gathered more than 2,000 people per show. With this, the band was gaining ground. Next, a contract with Sony Music came, and then the first official CD was released in August 1996. The bar band's most successful song is the rendition of As Dores do Mundo, a huge hit by Baffy and Solomon Haldon in the 70s. It quickly entered the charts, followed by other singles, while the band toured Brazil. On this first tour, the band members came on stage wearing black power wigs. Another hit from the first album was Encontra Alguém, a very disco. Even with the success, it took a while for them to get on television. On the 11th of January 1997, they were invited by the presenter Zuxa to perform at what was then called Zuxa Hits, which belonged to Rede Globo Television. It was the first performance of Jota Quest on TV. The band's second release was De Volta ao Planeta, more conventionally pop-rock, spawning more hit singles, especially the signature song Face Ill. The album's title song was De Volta ao Planeta, with monkey noises backgrounding its chorus. The album became a Brazilian bestseller. This tour was marked for the first Brazilian solar energy-supplied live show, a project with Greenpeace. In 2009, the title track of the album was used in the hugely successful telenovela Caras and Amp Bocas, resulting in the song receiving moderate airplay on Brazilian radio and a short stay on the national charts, a relative commercial failure due to the band's previous sales figures, their association with an internet provider as well as advertising for Fanta. The band tried a new direction on its third record, an ecological-oriented and experimental release called Oxigênio. It moved away from the dance floor, with increased production values, experimental songwriting and sponsored by the greatest Coca-Cola marketing campaign in Latin America. The Brazilian Grammy winner singer Milton Nascimento recorded with the band on this album the song Destes Tantos Modos. Although the album went platinum, it is largely considered a hodgepodge. In 2001, they returned to their original formula with bass guitar grooves, funk rock guitar riffs and beautiful lyrics with discoteca jam pop variada. The fourth album, Jota Quest, recapped the bar band feeling with hits like Na Moral and the ballad Sahosh. In 2002, Rogério Flausino was invited by Disney to sing the Brazilian version of the Treasure Planet's soundtrack. The song is called Estou Aqui. With the success of the last record, the Jota Quest recorded on days 1 and 2 of May 2003, the CD and DVD MTV ao Vivo at the Praça da Papá, in Belo Horizonte, broadcast by MTV Brazil. first live record of the group. MTV Ao Vivo gathered the biggest hits of the band and also had the special participation of Arnaldo Antunes and Tide. In the same year, they were the only ones in Latin America to be invited to participate in the soundtrack of the movie Spider-Man 2, that also had a version for the cartoon. The lyrics were made by Rogério Flausino. 10 years after launching the first CD, the band was consolidated in the Brazilian pop-rock scenario. Altogether there were 5 CDs, thousands of shows and attendance records all over Brazil, presentations in the US, and recently in Europe, where they attended the opening of the Rock in Rio Lisboa, sharing the stage with Carlos Santana and Roger Waters. After 4 years without releasing a CD with new material, the group got isolated in his studio in Belo Horizonte to record the album ATE Acute Envy, which arrived at the stores in October 2005, and since then, remains between the country's best-selling CDs. The album fused rock and funk elements and contained the cover version of Brazilian singer Roberto Carlos's ALE Acute Horizonte, which became a major hit. The album produced a further string of hit singles, all receiving heavy rotation on Brazilian radio stations, including O Sol, Palavras de Futuro Bom at the tail end of 2006, and most recently, Ya Foi in the first half of 2007. This album was a 7th annual Latin Grammy-nominated. Lead singer Rogério Flausino was also invited to sing in English on electronic dance act Leo and Bushwacker's 2006 album. In 2007, Rogério Flausino received the Multi-Show Award for being the best singer in Brazil. In the same year, on the 13th of August, he became a father, having her first daughter, Nina. The ATE Acute Envy tour were the longest one of Jota Quest. 2008 present. In 2008, the band released the album La Plata, recorded in the studio Ionor, 3 years after the last record. The CD quickly became successful on the radio with the songs La Plata, which was on the soundtrack of TV Globo's soap opera Karma de Gato, and the ballad Vem Anda Comugard, very well played, and theme of the soap opera Caras e Bocas. In late July, the third single, CC Trinta, was released on the radio and the music video came out in September. At the end of November 2009, the ballad Unico Olha was released, the 7th track of La Plata. In 2010, Tudo Me Faz Lembrar Voce was also released as the soundtrack of the film Muita Calma Nessa Hora. In the second half of 2010, the Jota Quest launched to the Hispanic market the first Spanish album, entitled Dias Majores. The album was released first in Argentina. In early March 2011, the Jota Quest announced a tour commemorating the 15-year career. The J1515 Anos na Moral is a kind of 5-hour-long party, where the band will present a 3-hour show with 3 new tracks. The project will be released on CD, DVD. The Quins collection was released in May and has 2 CDs and 30 tracks, among 3 hits and new songs. In early 2012, Quins was awarded a Latin Grammy for Best Brazilian Contemporary Pop Album, the first Grammy award in the group's career. Members: Rogério Flausino, vocals; Paulo Roberto Diniz, Jr. bass; Márcio Buzelin, keyboard; Paulinho Fonseca, drums; Marco Túlio, guitar. Discography: Demos 1995 Independente. Albums 1996 J.Quest 250.000, 1998 De Volta ao Planeta 500.000, 2000 Oxygenio 250.000, 2001 Discoteca Jimpop Variada 50.000. 2005 ATE Acute on DVI 125.000, 2008 La Plata 40.000, 2010 Diaz Majors, 2013 Funky Funky Boom Boom, 2015 Panque de Loco. Live 2003 MTV Ao Vivo 500.000, 2005 Rio de Janeiro, the 28th of January 2005 100.000, 2009 Festival de Verão Salvador. Compilations 2004 O Melhor de Jota Quest, 2011 Queen's Latin Grammy Award winner for Best Brazilian Contemporary Pop Album, Hits, Mandubem, Jota Quest FD Nile Rodgers. As Doors do Mundo from J.Quest, Encontra Alguém from J.Quest, Onibus Phobia from J.Quest, Facil from De Volta ao Planeta. Sempre Assim from De Volta ao Planeta. O Vento from De Volta ao Planeta. Oxigênio from Oxigênio. Dias Melhores from Oxigênio. O que também não entendo from Oxigênio. Namoral from Discoteca de Pop Variada. Sarroch from Discoteca de Pop Variada. Mais uma vez from Discoteca de Pop Variada. Amor Maya from MTV Ao Vivo. Do I See You Later from MTV Ao Vivo. Além de Horizonte from 8 on DVI. O Sol from 8 on DVI. Palavras de Futuro Bom from 8 on DVI.